coffee and lunchtime and in the afternoon, so you are very welcome to communicate with them. And now I am inviting Sauro Vicini.
Yes.
And his presentation is Development of Cluster-ER Health, best practice from Emilia-Romagna region. And yeah, Sauro, the floor is yours. 20 minutes, please.
Okay. Hi, good morning. So yes, I'm the cluster manager of the cluster health and well-being of the Emilia-Romagna region. So we are the organization. We are a completely new legal entity that is trying to harvest, let's say, what Cecilia and Aster saw before during the last year. So we are new association, private. And usually my presentations, we are quite young. We are just 1 year old. So usually my presentation, half of my presentation is the path that Aster do in the board of our association. So I briefly just recapped why we are born, because Cecilia already explained very well the reason. But let me start from the excellence that we have in our region. So why the Emilia-Romagna region is believing so much in the health sector. So this is first of all because we have the first national rankings as best performing regional healthcare system. So we are 4.5 billion on inhabitants. So maybe you know the Emilia-Romagna region for the Motor Valley, for Ferrari, Lamborghini, for the tourism in Rimini, maybe for something. But we are very well known in Italy because we are the best performing healthcare system. And the most important thing is that it's mainly a public system. So we are competing also very well with the private system, but the Emilia-Romagna system is mainly public. The second thing is what Cecilia said before. So there was a big high technology network of industrial lab that are working on research and care. And what Aster is trying to do with the operation of high technology network is push the technology toward the industrial research, not only the basic research, helping the companies in doing research. Third thing, of course, the industries that we have in our region. So we are one of the big biomedical district in Europe that is in the area of Modena province. Then we have biotech companies, of course, and pharmaceutical manufacturing plants. Hospital, of course, and clinics. We are trying to map the startups. Mapping startups is not an easy job, but we are trying to do. Also, thank you to Aster. What are the startups in the healthcare sector, and also the cell factories that we have for our advanced therapies companies. So more or less, this is the picture of the Emilia-Romagna in terms of industrial ecosystem. So we have this big area close to Modena where we have very big companies in the medtech sectors. Then we have the companies that come from the pharmaceutical sector. The pharma automation district that is something very important because now the way to have deliver drugs, let's say, is very correlated to the packaging industry. And then here we have what we call the Wellness Valley, which is a district where some big companies, probably you know, are focused on wellness technologies. Then we have the education system. Of course, we have our 6 universities spread in 11 cities, and also 2 big ITES technical institute focused on health and well-being. In particular, one focused on MedTech, and the second one focused on wellness. Last, of course, but not least, is the what Cecilia mentioned before is the support service that the Emilia-Romagna region and Aster are developed through the Technopoles facility that are buildings, let's say, on the territory that are able to provide services to companies through the research labs that we have in our country. So at the end of the day, what I would like to say that all these area that I shown before is the origin because the Emilia-Romagna region decided to build the cluster of health and well-being of our region, because we are part of a big network of clusters. There are 7 clusters, and we are one of these 7 sectors of interest for our region. So what we have done in the first year of activity, of course, we set up our objective, what we would like to do in the upcoming period. So these are the 8 objectives that we have, that are to promote the competitiveness of biotech, pharmaceutical, medtech, and wellness companies, support the development of new advanced therapies, medical products, support the development of smart medical devices, promote people's health and well-being, support the innovation and the biofabrication and industrial modernization. So this is related to let's say, Industry 4.0 in the pharma sector. Reduce the time to market. That is one of the big issues that we have in the healthcare sector. You know, more or less, a product that comes from the health sector, I'm talking about a medical product, take 12 years to go in the market. So this is one of the most important issues that we are trying to address in our strategy. Increase the public and private healthcare integration, and how we do it through collaborative projects. So one of our objectives is to promote collaborative projects among our partners and, of course, among other partners in Europe. So now we started in 2017 with 32 partners, and now we are 2018. So the strong basic of the partner is the academic research. So we have 25 laboratories that comes from universities and industrial research, but now we are starting also to aggregate companies. So we have these companies that we consider as key players of our cluster: Chiesi Pharmaceutical, Alpha Sigma, Menarini Silicon Biosystem, B. Braun, Holostem, and we have also the hospital that are also involved in research activities, and we have the big universities and the National Council of Research. How we work. So this is let's say, the 4 pillars that we have in our cluster. So we recognize 4 areas as the most interesting that we have in our region, and that are able to concentrate the competencies and the interests of the companies and the research center. So the first one is the new generation medtech, let's say, that we call biomedtech, and also contains prosthetics also as one of the interesting sectors. Regenerative medicine, pharmaceutical economic science, and smart and active living, inclusive services, and usable technologies. So those are the value chain that we have in what we call value chain that we have in the cluster. So the first one, as I told you, is the medtech, related to medtech, new generation medtech and prosthetics, and yes, as I told you, it's related also to these big districts that we have in Modena area, and also in the first year we set up the objectives that we have in this value chain. The first one is to the integration of key enabling technology, you know, photonics and nanoelectronics and this kind of technology. The second one is integrating mechatronics and robotics, which is it's also another cluster in Emilia-Romagna because mechatronics is one of the most important industries that we have. So also the combination of the medical sector with this important industrial sector is one of the objectives of this value chain. And then support the validation pre and post market. This is referring to also in particular to the new regulation on medical devices. So what is the important stuff that our company needs to do to go on the market? So helping them to set up a strategy for the commercialization of innovative and smart medical devices. Then we have the value chain, regenerative and restorative medicine. So this is, let's say, quite a niche in our region, but is quite well known because a company of our cluster delivered one of the first medical products based on advanced therapies. So the objective of this value chain, of course, is to the development and industrialization of advanced therapies, the development and testing of therapies and tools for the self-repair, of course, for regenerative and restorative medicine. So this is more research value chain. So you can see that more than half of the partners that are working in this value chain comes from the research. But also some big companies, in particular big companies, are very interested in this emerging sector. Then the pharmaceutical one, yes, of course. The value chain on pharma and omics, which is related, as I told you before, to some big companies that we have in our region, and also to some plants, manufacturing plants about pharma that we have in the region. So the objective of this value chain is the development of molecules and biomolecules, of course, new pharma and biotech approach for omics and drug delivery, and then the development of new industrial production systems. So as I told you before, the industrialization of the pharma process, the pharma production process. And the last one is the smart and active living, inclusive services and usable technologies. So this is referring to the company. Most of them also comes from the ICT sector, the information and communication technology sector, that are developing solution for healthy and active living. So, and also part of this value chain, it refers also to the wellness sector that I mentioned before. So promoting health and well-being, promoting tech innovation and for the specialization. So this is one of the most important objectives. And of course, the collaboration between public and private sector in health and social services. Yes, this slide represents more or less the distribution of our partner, of our 65 partner shareholder, let's say, in the value chain. So you can see there's quite a balance between the distribution of the value chain. So this means, in our idea, that value chains can evolve. So if we, in the future, we will see that a new sector or there's some new interested in new value chain, or some value chain, let's say, goes toward, do not receive more interested, this, let's say, organization could change in the future. Okay. Just my 2-3 slides about what we have done in the first year of our activity. So we try to collaborate. Of course, we do a lot of stuff at regional level. So we collaborate with the region and Aster, and we organized also our internal meeting. We try to do yes, of course, we try to push our partner to participate in financed projects and so on. But we also operate as a cluster at different levels. So those are the three national cluster we are in some way, let's say, involved in. So the Alizei, Aster is partner of the Alizei cluster, which is the national cluster on life science. So we, for this first year, we collaborate mainly with Aster in the setup of the plan for the next 3 years of the Alizei cluster, and also to the event, the big event, you know, the Meet in Italy for Life Science that was a big success last month. Smart living technologies. There is a cluster in Italy, a national cluster for assistive technologies. So this is one of the clusters where we are interested in. And the last one is related to the blue growth. So this is what in the sea, let's say, in the Mediterranean Sea, the possibility that the blue economy could give us. So in this particular case, we are talking about blue biotech. The second slide about the first year of activity is what we have done at European level. So we are now in relation with the MedTech partnership. So we participated in some meetings, and we would like to foster this partnership also through the Vanguard initiative. So there is a specific action in the Vanguard initiative that are related to the healthcare. So this is one of the objectives that we have as a cluster. Then the last partnership that we would like to join is quite a new one. It is related to the personalized medicine partnership. So this is one of the action that we would like to do in the next period. So last slide. Yes, it's about the lesson learned in the first year of activity. So what we would like to share with you as our experience of the first year. So with the first one is establish the good relationship among our partner, so the internal partner, I mean, because you need to keep them involved in engaged also in the activity. So it means that they would like to join the meetings when you do it. The second one is to set up both high level and concrete objective for the operational activity. So you have to fly high, let's say, but also think to concrete stuff that you have to do every day. And the third one, that is also the reason why we are here, is to establish also good European partnership. So this is a way that we think could help our cluster and all the European ecosystem to grow. Thank you.
This presentation. So we have now the chance to ask some questions. Andrew? Yes, Nicholas?
So you made a very interesting presentation. Thank you. As Cecilia showed before, the ecosystem was already well working before the creation of the cluster. Could you explain what would be the further contribution of this new association to the dynamics in your region, and how you will achieve it? Is it because you will be able to hire people inside the association working for coordination, animation, and so on? What would be the new prospects opened by this cluster?
Yes, this is a very good question. Also because one of the action that our region asked well, yes, I think was the first one maybe, is to help them with our industrial partner to set up the new, let's say, to reshape their S3 strategy. So what we have done is to involve more the the companies, the industrial sector in shaping the new strategies. So this is also related to the education part. That is one of the objectives that we have. We would like to involve more and more and more the companies in the regional ecosystem. So this is the main because yes, we are private. So the difference between us and Aster is a public bodies, and we are a totally private association. So this means that our partner, the company that will join us, take also the power, let's say, to nominate the council and the board that is driving the association, and trying to push toward the region what it comes from. So let's say it's a bottom-up approach instead of the oldest one that comes from top-down.
Yes?
I have a question, yes. Thank you for your presentation. Yes, you mentioned that you want to reinforce European relationship.
Yes.
This means that you are looking for some equivalent cluster outside Italy in order to have specific link and to make a bigger network?
Yes. Yes.
The idea?
Yes, this is the idea also because the big, let's say, objective is also to go international. So we need to do this, we need the helps, and we need to group together other European cluster and make some specific action to go this. So we would like to learn also, but exchange and share our work with other cluster, understand what we can do better, and then try to do some action together with them. Yes, of course.
But in this case, as it is a very competitive field, okay, in particular for companies, how do you think you can manage the link between both of this cluster of companies?
Yes, this is an old question, let's say. But if you are thinking that we are always competing with someone, now there is the Far East that is trying to push a lot of stuff in healthcare, and we have to. Also in our region, we have the same problem, but we need to think in a different way. So we need to start to collaborate with our neighbor, because without this, we are competing with some biggest, let's say, entities that is not approachable, let's say, in this way. So I think our partner are understanding now this, and we would like to understand the same thing at the European level, let's say. So this is, I think, it's a way to go ahead.
No? Okay.
Thank you.
So I also insisting. Thank you very much, Saura. So when you